You're welcome, and I want to say thank you for the coverage you've been giving to us in this struggle. And you've made it, something that the entire nation are aware that we have something on hands. And this press rally is centered on unresolved, negotiated 2009 federal government and ASUU agreement, which is incubating an imminent danger to industrial harmony in the national energy system. So today, we gather under the banner of knowledge, truth, service, solidarity, and sacrifice, the same banner ASUU has carried for decades in defense of public education and the soul of our nation, Nigeria. We have gathered not merely as members of ASUU, but as citizens whose patience have been stretched far beyond its elastic limit. Occasioned by broken promises, shattered dreams, and deepening crises in the real sector, we hereby express deep concern over government's inconsistency and dilatory approach to agreements, engagements, and negotiations. The negotiation of 2009 agreement on ASUU was not a gift, it was an obligation to Nigerian university lecturers. Government owes lecturers their due wages and their citizens the dignity of decent and functional education system. Gentlemen of the press, our struggle is not new. It is the same struggle waged by generations of committed academics who refuse to watch our universities crumble under the weight of misplaced priorities, neglect, and underfunding. It is the same fight for the survival of Nigeria's intellectual soul. The issues that ASUU has been tracking include the question of workers' social service since 2009 in tandem with changing times and evolutionary trend over the years, funding for revitalization of infrastructures, university autonomy, academic freedom, undue proliferation of universities without assured sustainable funding, and other related matters. This agreement was negotiated 16 years ago and should have been reviewed and renegotiated about 5 times. The infidelity of government agreements fully entered into with our union is not only acceptable, it is immoral. Government grandstanding, insensitivity, and silence are deliberate to destroy our academic system, and ASUU is ready to shut down totally and completely in few days. Recall that ASUU gave Federal Nigeria 14 days ultimatum to conclude the renegotiation, and that was enough to make any sort of government do the needful, and we watched all to no affair. ASUU then graduated to 2 weeks warning strike, which was suspended after NEC of the 2nd October 2025 due to interventions of well-meaning Nigerians, the Nigerian Labour Congress, parents, and our dear students to create an enabling opportunity for a meaningful dialogue. This gesture was made in good faith and ASUU gave a period of grace of 4 weeks ending on 25th November. And expects that it should be enough for federal government to conclude the renegotiation and agreement with timelines for immediate implementation, while nagging issues will be immediately resolved. As this ultimatum has few days to expire, it is disappointing that all the federal government has done is piecemeal payment of 2017 promotion arrears and the belated release of third-party deductions. The arrears, may we note, are part of lecturer salaries that were deducted as part of their cooperative contribution that ran into billions of naira. This cannot be presented by government as substantive achievement because they just paid a paltry sum out of the debt owed members over the years, and they are from running this issue as something they have done. We make bold to report that government has not done anything to the core issues. This grandstanding and posture of never let them have their way is not the best approach, as there is no competition and therefore a winner or loser. We will continue to defend this basic system, not only for ourselves, but for the millions of Nigerian youths whose dreams depend on it. Comrades, I would say this clear enough is is enough. We demand sincerity, we demand justice, and we demand positive and affirmative action. Let the federal government return to the path of truth, fairness, and good conscience. Let the government hear us clearly. They cannot destroy public education, staff lecturers with a slavish salary, deduct and withhold part of our legitimate lecturer salaries by way of third-party deductions, deny students conducive environment for effective learning, and expect peace. No. They cannot deceive ASUU with promises and expect silence. They cannot frustrate the future and escape accountability. It is therefore very unfortunate and disturbing that while the leaders of this country send their children to foreign universities, they starve Nigerian universities of fund for staff welfare and infrastructure development. We have lost brilliant minds to brain drain, as well as the massive resources invested in their training. How long shall this continue? ASUU has been consistent. We are not asking for personal enrichment. We are demanding that government fulfills its obligations to Nigerian people by funding education properly. Otherwise, we shall resume the strike itself. What I mean, the strike is not the mother of first strike or the father of first strike, but the strike itself. This will be a total, comprehensive, and indefinite strike action. We are ready to shut down for as long as government wants it to last, because he who has been pushed down fears no fall. May we note that education is the function of personal and national development. No nation can rise above the quality of its universities. Yet, the government treats education as a burden rather than a priority, a commodity for internal revenue generation rather than a public good. The offer of 20% increase in our salary is a tokenistic gesture that cannot address the inflationary trend over 16 years, nor sway the tide of this brain drain, nor can it stem the viral infection in universities called Calabar Zone, whose symptoms are massive exodus of our best brains, increased and excess workload, and economic wastages in resources invested in training these fleeing members of the academia. We therefore demand, within these few days left to the discussion of the ultimatum, the completion of the negotiation and full implementation of the agreement with timelines, as well as fair remuneration and improved work conditions for academic staff to curb the exodus of talents. 2. Immediate release of the 3.5 months after salaries and all with the salaries for work that has been done. Refund of all third-party deductions and payment of all additional promotion. Payment of outstanding 12% wage award with the constitutional adjustment. We also demand adequate budgetary allocation to education in line with UNESCO benchmark of at least 15 to 26% of national budget and sustainable funding for Nigerian universities. We demand immediate release of the transition fund for public universities. We also demand respect for the economy and end to the imposition of policies that undermine academic freedom. Comrades, our message is simple. Education is not a privilege, but a right. It is an inalienable right of the citizens. We have been patient, but our patience is not weakness. If the government continues to toy with the fortunes of the Nigerian education system, ASUU will not hesitate to invoke every legitimate instrument of resistance available to it. Yes, man of the press, we shall remain unbowed, unbroken, and unwavering in the just struggle, with profound faith, secure in knowledge that victory is sure. Our message is simple. Hold the federal government responsible if, at the expression of the 4 weeks given, ASUU embarks on yet another industrial action, because, again, federal government fails to act within the period of grace. We can assure you, comrades, that until the tree is down, the axe will not rest. In the light of their oath, we hereby state that the problem is not paucity of funds, as government persists, but lack of political will to invest in the development of Nigeria. The figures and empirical data from FAC has revealed that in 2022, states received 3.02 trillion naira, while in 2024, the figures rose to 5.81 trillion naira, with an increase of over 62%. Similarly, federal government federal allocations rose from 3.42 trillion in 2022 to 4.65 trillion, with an increase of over 70%. This is a clear evidence that government has the capacity to pay lecturers in the ivory towers a benefiting salary, where professors are generous in their own right. We shall rebuild the national university system for our dream with the ashes of this struggle. Together, we shall restore the dignity in informed learning. And together, we shall defend a future assured by requisite education. This is where we are going to develop the press and compatriots. We expect all the stakeholders to take this as a wake-up call. This imminent strike action is available and should be allowed. National leaders, parents, students, General Congress, and indeed the general public and all women Nigerians should hold the federal government responsible for the breakdown in the already fragile industrial harmony and total comprehensive indefinite strike action that will follow. General Press, this is why we have gathered to let the world know this, because at the expression of this ultimatum, we will have no other option, having given enough time, than to go home and rest until that is resolved. Solidarity forever!